Hey guys, how's it going? Sorry, I'm just putting my AirPods in here. Usually the sound is better when I forgot to put them in. So, welcome to the page number one if you're a brand new member to the page. I'm going to wait just a little bit. Usually I wait a few minutes before I actually get into the topic for the day, just to make sure people can jump on. And as always, if you are new or if you haven't seen my trainings in a while, I always save them here on the page. I'm going to upload it to YouTube and then have the link always provided in the guides section of this page. So again, if you're brand new, welcome to the page. I'm always trying to kind of put out good fitness and nutrition content and try to make things a little less confusing out there, right? It's gotten so hard to understand some of the the diets and the workouts, and there's supplements and every kind of area you might be a little bit just lost. So I'm here to today go over something called reverse dieting. And it is a term that maybe you've heard before, maybe you haven't. I posted yesterday asking to kind of see a poll of who's actually heard of this term and who hasn't. So if you're just tuning in now, or even if you're watching later, let me know in the comments if you have heard of reverse dieting. I'm just curious who's heard of it and if you have any experience with that. So what I want to talk about today is number one is to actually go over number one, what it is, and two, should you do it or shouldn't you do it? And then number three, what to expect if you are going to go through that process. So part of my framework, that really is my whole framework when I coach people one-on-one, is to figure out what type of damage has been done to your metabolism by the time we meet. So I certainly can't go in and just, wave a magic wand and fix some things that maybe have happened or you've done to, get to the point where you are right now. So, and a lot of this is not your fault. If there's been programs you've done in the past that have been super restrictive, or you just felt like you had to eliminate certain food groups or certain things out of your diet, and that led to a really awful relationship with food, or this binging cycle, it's been eye-opening with the amount of clients that is the case. So really what we need to do is assess, number one, where you're at right now. That's always the only thing you can do. We can't go back in time and change anything. We can't just go and wave that magic wand, right? So we have to assess where we're at. Reverse dieting, I will tell you a couple of things that it is not. It is not designed to be a quick fix. Every person is going to need a different amount of time, and that's the hardest part of my job, is to figure out time frames with everybody. With a client, that may have been coming to me with very strict eating habits for a very long time, and their body just hasn't received what it needs for many, many years. So that's going to take a longer time to fix. Whereas maybe somebody just tried a bodybuilding competition and otherwise they eat pretty healthy, but that one specific competition really kind of messed up their metabolism, their functions, and we need to just do a quick reverse diet. So you can kind of see there's a lot of different ways you can go with this depending on the individual. So it's not a quick fix usually. It is not really designed to be a weight loss tool as you're going through the reverse process. Some people, I will say, may lose weight during a reverse because you're still technically in a calorie deficit, so you're still under what your body actually needs. But that's not always the case. So what we're trying to do is not have any scale changes really in this process. I'll get into it in a little bit here, but and I'm going to give you 4 questions to kind of ask yourself if this might be appropriate for you. So it's also not, I've seen this go the other way. It's not a game of like, okay, cool, I'm allowed to eat more. Like, how much can I actually fit in now? That's more like, yo-yo dieting, right? So I like to kind of say you have yo-yo dieting, which is really extreme ups and downs in your calorie intake, simply because of that over restrictive and then binge cycle that happens, right? You have these huge like highs and lows within that yo-yo. Whereas reverse, it's a very controlled way up in calories that really it's all it is. So a reverse diet is actually where we're going to increase the amount of calories we're eating with specific goals in mind. So what it is also is a tool to keep fat loss progress moving forward. So how many times have you joined a program? I don't know, Weight Watchers is always one that comes to mind for me. I have several clients that are like, I did Weight Watchers for like a year and it worked great until it stopped working great. And that's where we have to probably build in a reverse diet. So after Weight Watchers for a year, what you don't realize is that you've been in a calorie deficit for a whole year. That's really not recommended. Yes, it kept working, but your body adapted to that. And it got used to the low amount of calories that you've set the bar for. And now your body's going to hold on. It doesn't want to lose anymore. It wants to preserve and keep you safe and not let you lose any more weight. So it seems scary to go this route of, well, to break this plateau, I have to actually eat more to allow myself and prime my body to be able to lose weight. But it is just that. It's an opportunity to give your body what it needs. And a lot of people I found that when they do their reversed phase, although there's not a lot of going on the scale during that time, their body composition is changing. So we do progress pictures and we notice during this process, the scale has not budged at all, but I look completely different. And that is probably one of the best parts of reverse dieting, is to start to focus on muscle building during this phase and allowing as much lean tissue on the body as possible, again, in preparation for fat loss. The more muscle you have, the more calories you can burn at rest. So it's all part of this phase, this ramp up in calorie phase. And it's intended to increase the amount of food, like I said, as a primer to then enter a deficit again if you're still trying to go for weight loss. So if you are maybe in any of these categories, I'm going to ask you guys these 4 questions if you're like, this is totally me, I think. So ask yourself these things. Number 1, are you failing to lose weight even though you're at really low calories? Like you're really good, you're eating salads every day, you're not eating pizza with the family, you're totally like, why isn't this working? This is what I've been told my whole life to do: eat less, move more, and I'm stuck. So if that's the case, that's the first question to ask yourself. Are you eating low calorie to prevent that weight gain? So let's say you are someone that's lost a lot of weight, all of a sudden it has stopped and you're still staying low in the calories to make sure that you don't gain any weight. Is that the case for you? Number 3, are you yo-yoing, like we just talked about, with over-restricting and then binging with 0 changes on the scale? So basically when that happens, you're getting all of the terrible benefits of, well, I wouldn't even say benefits, effects of being in a diet or a deficit without any actual results. So you restrict all week, the weekend comes, you binge, and it kind of all goes out the window. And that's exactly true. We can't expect to be perfect all week and then let loose and have everything just, the weight fall off. It just doesn't work like that. So everything has to be a little bit more consistent. I'm not saying that my, protocols don't allow for any treats, or I am 100% 80-20 person. Sometimes during phases of my client's journey, I will say, turn it on a little bit more. Let's get a little more dialed in. But knowing that we're not going to live like that forever, we're going to allow things that the body, your mind wants. You need a little break every once in a while to have those special treats. And number 4, are you constantly feeling lousy? That's another side effect of dieting. Is it's a stress on the body. You might not even realize it, but by eating super low calories, you're going to feel crap. And maybe that's become your new normal. You don't even realize how crappy you feel because you felt that way for so long. And so that, again, becomes your new norm. But however, I've had a lot of clients that have gone through the reverse and say, wow, I didn't realize how crappy I felt before. Now that I'm actually getting fed and I have a lot more energy and things like that. So those are the 4 questions. I will post these again, as a recap. I always like to do that on the next day for you guys, along with posting this video. So I like to post like a visual guide as well as a video for you to watch and listen to. So all that being said, feel free to post any questions as we're going through. I'm trying to watch any comments or questions coming through. What to expect. So this is the biggest question I have when I start with a client. Number 1 is, how long is this going to take to fix me? And we don't know. We just don't have that magic, crystal ball. But let me tell you just some things that we try to focus on in this phase. And some of the things are unseen, like on the scale. So we have to really pay attention and believe in the process. Number 1, that your metabolism is recovering during this phase. It's being fed, it's allowing your body to function in certain ways again. You might not notice it, but it's happening internally. Another thing, along with that, would be your hormones are shifting. So if we are depriving the body and we're deficient in certain areas, your hormones are going to get out of whack. It's just science. And so when we're starting to refeed and your body understands that it's getting nutrients again, those hormones are going to shift. And some of the more seen and felt changes are things like your hunger cue starts to return. So a lot of times I get people to say, well, Megan, you're asking me to eat all this food, but I'm not hungry. Well, that's a red flag. The fact that your body's no longer giving you a signal that you're even hungry, that's a red flag. Your metabolism is completely not responding. So when you are getting hungry as a result of eating more, that's green flag. We want that. And we have this negative connotation with hunger, but it's not a bad thing. Like I said, it's a biofeedback from your body and telling your brain, okay, it's time to eat again. Great, feed it. You're sleeping better. Sleep, I cannot tell you how important that is, especially if you're priming your body to lose weight. If you're not sleeping, I'm sorry to tell you, you just probably will not lose weight properly, or more the best that you could. So during this feed phase, when your body again is getting all it needs, you're sleeping better at night. And a lot of times this goes hand in hand with working out and getting a lot of water and things like that too. All of it plays a role. More energy, stronger workout, so you're feeling better performance in the gym, and improved mood. So again, a lot of times the low calorie and the restrictions become our new norm, and we aren't even aware of our mood sometimes as a result of being so low calorie. So those are things that are happening during a reverse diet. Now let's get into some real talk. The challenges of a reverse diet. This is without a doubt the hardest part, is the mindset shift that you have to adapt to and take on before going into reverse diet. So this is a period of time where you are not focused on the scale. You are focused on those things that I just mentioned, better sleep, better workouts, better mood, energy, all of it. Those have to be your wins during this phase. There's just no question. You cannot be staring at the scale every day saying, this isn't working, this isn't working. I just want to lose weight. I don't care about this other stuff going on metabolically. You just can't do that. It's not going to work if you do it that way. So if the mind is not fully aware of what's going on and you're just like, I'm just eating all this food for nothing, it's not working, I would encourage you to step back and really think about that before you start something like this. Again, there's no scale change. Sometimes the scale will change, fluctuate, with a reverse process, but everybody's different. So I like to be upfront about that with people. And this is another tough one too. Eating more feels counterintuitive to our goals. So if you're somebody that is trying to lose weight, lose body fat, and you're in this phase of eating more, all our lives we've been told to eat less and to not go this route of eating more. So it's going to feel really backwards and counterintuitive. So you have to push past that. And it's also going to test your relationship with food. Um, so understanding what the food is providing to your body and not so much labeling stuff bad and good during this process. So I've always got clients that I have to say, we're trying to eat more, but we're not trying to just fill your day with salads. Like that would be horrible. So literally we have to find foods that we're not labeling bad or good. It's just going to fill our macronutrient profile. So carbs, fats, proteins are all going to be balanced in a way that help you with that metabolic restore or restoration. So again, the whole phase can be really tricky and can be like, hard on the mind to adapt to. But if you can get through it, I would encourage you to do it. And this is something too, if you're not sure of like numbers, that's part of my job as the coach, is to be like, okay, here's your range, here's your targets. And if we can stay within like these healthy ranges, that's how I'm going to know when to move you to the next phase. So usually what happens is we put somebody through a reverse diet. They get up to what's called their maintenance calories, which is just based off of a formula from your height, weight, age, gender, activity level. And once you're at your maintenance calories, that's not just a time to go back into a deficit. We actually have to sit there at maintenance for an extended period of time, usually 4 weeks or longer, for the body to actually understand that it's safe again, it's restoring, it's getting what it needs, before we say, all right, let's go back down into that deficit, into more of your diet fat loss phase, fat loss activation, I call it. So that's kind of the time frame and what the phase would look like. And then after fat loss phase, as you're getting into that deficit, things should start to be coming down weekly. A safe place to be is 1 pound to 2 pounds a week. Anything higher than that is actually a red flag. So, I constantly still see on social media, these quick fix detox things, and people are losing 8 to 10 pounds in a week. And I actually cringe. It hurts me to see that. So, and I only say that because I've done all of these things in the past. I've tried everything because I want to know what my people are going through. And so I get it. But when you get to a point when your body's lost that much weight, it's usually water weight, number one. And we have the risk of losing muscle tissue, which is the biggest, contributor to weight gain, again, after you come off of that program. So I hope this helped. I know it's a lot of information, especially if it's something that's brand new to you. Comment in the comments. Let me know if this was helpful, if you had heard of reverse before, or if you think this might be something for you. If you have more questions, I'm always available for chats. Feel free to send me a private message if you are like, this had me thinking a little bit more. And I'd love to chat with you more. So thanks for joining me. And I'm going to be back. I don't have a regular set schedule with these live trainings. My schedule has gotten a little bit crazy with sports and stuff in the evenings. But there's always stuff going on, in the back end of my business. So I'm trying to come up with some ideas, and I've got a lot of things in the works. I just can't announce anything just yet. So stay tuned on the page. And as always, post. The more engagement we have in this community, the more it's just helpful that we are in this together, and that I can provide as much, truthful knowledge as I can. So enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you guys soon.